So we're continuing the Shada Teshuvah series, Gateways to Repentance. So last time we finished one of the we were in middle of a category of law that says that is not done with action. And last time we did the one that right now we're doing a couple of categories of Isurim that have to do with not doing an action. Last time we did Isurim that involved the heart, and basically what Rabbi Yonah does is he goes in depth with some of these Isurim. We left off. B'ezrat Hashem, today we'll cover this prohibition that involves forbidden speech. So, Saif Mem Dalit, the Rabbi Yonah says, Mina Zaharot HaTeluyot Balashon. We'll now discuss some of the prohibitions that involve the tongue. First thing, כי אשר לוקח מתהלך בקרב מחנך להסילך ולתת אויביך לפניך והיה מחנך קדוש ולא יראה בך ערבת דבר. The Torah says, for Hashem your God walks in the midst of your camp to rescue you and to deliver your enemies before you. Your camp shall be holy, and he shall not see a matter of nakedness among you. Now what does this pasuk mean? That you should you should not see a matter of nakedness. אמרו רבותינו זמנם ברכה, החכמים זמנם ברכה said, ברכות, כי בכלל האזהרה הזאת. Including this prohibition is, אשר בהגותנו בתורת השם יתברך, ובדברנו בתפילת לפניו. That when we speak about Hashem's Torah and when we pray before Him, our camps, meaning the areas near us, must be in a state of sanctity and have no matters of nakedness that shall be seen among us. We are therefore commanded by this pasuk to mention the name of Hashem in a state of sanctity, involve ourselves in words of Torah and prayer when we're in a state of kedusha. Meaning that it's forbidden to mention the name of Hashem or words of Torah if he's unclothed, or or if someone unclothed is opposite him, meaning he's in his vision. So right now the Rabbi Yonah tells us, pasuk says, Hashem walks in the midst of your camp to rescue and deliver you from enemies, and you shall be holy right after that. And you shall not see a matter of nakedness. What's the connection? And what does it mean? The camp, Rabbi Yonah tells us, the camp refers to the places near you. The midst of your camp, the places near you, there should not be no matters of nakedness before you. And meaning, if you are in this state, the Rabbi Yonah tells us that one, you cannot speak words of Torah while you're unclothed, or if you're even looking at someone that's unclothed. Even if you have a non-sinute woman, you cannot say she's in your line vision, like that's what you see. You cannot say the name of Hashem. You cannot learn Torah. You can't say words of Torah. This is what it means. So, second halakha, Rabbi Yonah says, וכן, הוסרנו שיהיה המקום נקי. We also commandment that the place where we mention Hashem's name has to be clean. Meaning, place is not like the bathroom. As it says, you shall have a shovel in addition to your weapons, and it will be that when you sit outside, you shall dig it with it. You shall go back and cover your waist. Meaning, this pasuk is basically telling us is that Avirna is telling us over here that also, if you can't also be in filthy places, not just seeing filthy things or you're actually naked, but also if you're in an impure place, you cannot mention the name of Hashem or study Torah over there. So now the Avirna gives us some things about keeping oneself clean. מוסד שלו להזכיר שם שמיים אם אין ידיו נקיות. Now, if there's an obligation to keep the area very much is the name of Hashem clean, certainly commanded not to mention Hashem's name if your own hands are unclean. Moreover, if a person's hands do not exactly touch such something that's dirty and filthy, but just something that is repulsive to him, like dirt, you should still wash them before mentioning the name of Hashem. Which says, I wash my hands in cleanliness, circle around your altar, Hashem. Basically, we're not saying it's not just if you have the spiritual impurity on your hands. If it's physical impurity, you should not, or more so, that you should not, your hands actually have to be physically clean in order to mention the name of Hashem. So, continuing, and one's walking on the road and is unsure whether the road is clean. And not mention the name of Hashem or speak the words of Torah. Meaning, if you don't know whether your hands are clean from dirty things or not, since it's a deoraita, we have a rule, meaning that you have to go to the strict side when it comes to a deoraita from the Torah. And since it's from the Torah, you cannot mention Hashem's name if you're unsure about such a thing. So Avirna continues, if an unclean item such as excrement, a rotting carcass, a body, or water used to soak flax, which has very bad odor, very bad smell, then which is behind him, or Sarikhia Asher Hikarba Amot Mekom Shekare Harea must first distance himself at least 4 amot from where the order becomes undetectable to him. If it's something clean in front of him, he must distance himself as far as he could see. So basically, Avirna is telling us now another thing. If you could smell something, you could detect something that's unclean, you have to at least walk 4 amot away from that place. If you're not, Avirna is talking right now, if you don't see it, if it's not in your line of vision, if it's on the side of you, you're not facing it, You have to walk 4 amot away from it, and then you can mention the name of Hashem. But if you actually see it, you have to distance yourself until you can't actually see it. That's what Rebbeinu tells us. And this is basically what we're going to be talking about for the whole shiur. We're going to talk about halachot on certain isurim that have to do with your with your speech. So it's continuing as a yirut b'sevin darkei yirat shamayim. In this area is one of the ways of showing yirat shamayim by doing this. Shneimar says in Malachi, Le'yirei Hashem u'choshvei shemo. A book of remembrance is written for him, for those who fear Hashem and for those who esteem His name. V'amnu zvanam lakach, hakamim zvanam lakach said. In Berachot, Ki devar Hashem baza. The pasuk says, for he scorned the word of Hashem. Ne'emar al daber b'divrei Torah, b'mevoot ha'tunachot. First, there's one speaking a word of filthy alleyways, speaking words of Torah in filthy alleyways, meaning places that dirty things are there. So Rebbeinu is just saying over here that by doing this, by the pasuk says that a book of remembrance was read before him for those who fear Hashem and for those who esteem His name. And esteeming His name, the way to do that is by showing Him honor in a way. And how do you do that? How do you esteem His name? By making sure that you're always keeping clean. And when the pasuk says, by scorning the word of Hashem, first one who speaks Torah in alleyways. So that's one of the things. said in Kohelet Rabbah, Yahem Hokmeta Lehakimin. Pasuk says Hashem gives wisdom to the wise. Because the wise people honor the Torah and engage in study in a state of sanctity. If however Torah wisdom was given to the foolish people, what would happen? They would speak words in the filthy alleyways. They'll belittle the Torah. Hashem is therefore reluctant to grant Torah knowledge to them. So why, you may ask sometimes, why foolish people don't get Torah? Hashem doesn't give them understanding to understand Torah. Because if Hashem did, they'll be foolish. Since they don't honor Hashem, they don't look at Hashem as who He is. They think it's not a big deal. There's nothing bad about it. They'll just talk in filthy places. They'll mention Hashem's name in filthy places. They don't think of it as kedusha. While wise people realize it's that the Torah, Hashem, and mentioning Hashem's name, Hashem's holy name, and Torah, which is holy also, must only be said in a holy place. Saif Mimhet. So now Rabbi Yonah says that in general there's transgressions that involve speech and are not subject to Malkut. If you do a Avera that involves speech, usually you're not subject to Malkut, but there's exceptions to the rule. ויש באזהרות התלויות בלשון שאלוקין עליהן. Among those provisions that involve speech, there are several that are punishable by malchut. וכן אמרו רבותינו זיכרונם לברכה, for דרך חכמים, so דרך חכמים זיכרונם לברכה, say, in מסכת מכות, כל האזהרות שבתורה, to all the Torah's prohibitions, לאו שאין בו מעשה אלוקין עליו. Prohibitions that do not involve action are not punishable with malchut. חוץ מנשבע וממר ומקלל את חברו בהשם. Except for swearing, performing temura, which is basically changing, substituting hekdesh, animal that is for designated for the Bet HaMikdash. You switch it with a different animal. You're not allowed to do it. It's called temura. And cursing one's fellow with the name of Hashem. These three things you do get malchut for. So again, the three things are swearing falsely, Hashem's swearing falsely, performing temura, and cursing one's fellow with the name of Hashem. So now Birnan is going to go into details with starting off with two of these exceptions, beginning with swearing false. Although taking false oaths is not subject to death penalty at the hands of Beit Din, עונשה חמור בידי שמיים יותר מהרבה עבירות שיש בהן מיתת בית דין. The punishment that heaven meets out is more severe than a punishment for many transgressions that are subject to death penalty at the hands of Beit Din. The reason is that one who swears falsely also desecrates the name of Hashem. Shneimar, it says, "Lo tishavu b'shmi l'shakir v'hilalti et shem Elokecha ani Hashem." You shall not swear falsely in my name, thereby desecrating the name of your God. I am Hashem. And the punishment of Hilul Hashem is more severe than all the other avirot. And you may be asking why? How could a swearing falsely be a Hilul Hashem? And the answer is, Hilul Hashem also means over here that when you're desecrating Hashem's name, what does it mean? It means you're belittling Hashem's name, meaning it's not a big deal. You're using Hashem's as I could swear falsely in Hashem's name, and you don't know who you're swearing in whose name are you swearing in. And that's what you're doing when you swear falsely. Not to mention the fact that also, in addition, you could, if obviously people are watching, and they know that you're really lying, so that's also a Hilul Hashem. And Hilul Hashem, obviously, we know, is you have to die in order, you have to do Teshuvah, Yom Kippur, and Yisurin, getting afflicted with punishment. You still won't you wouldn't be forgiven until you die. Why? Why till you die? Because as long as you're alive, when people see you, they're gonna be like, oh, that's the person who did this. It reminds them of how they made a Hilul Hashem. So you have to die in order to be forgiven of the sin. So continuing, Rabbi Yonah says, "Lo nishtav al ahad min ha'avirot ela ha'shavua la'sheker ve'al avodah zarah." Such a description is not written about any sin other than swearing falsely, as avodah zarah. Shneimar, it says, "Ki mizaron natan la'molech le'man tameh et mikdashim u'lhalel et shem kodeshi." I shall concentrate my attention upon that man, and I shall cut him off from his people, for he has given was offering to Molech, Avodah Zarah, in order to defile my sanctuary and desecrate my holy name. So, just the pasuk we just mentioned before is right next to this pasuk, and this teaches us that one who swears falsely and serving Avodah Zarah, it's almost like serving Avodah Zarah, swear falsely in Hashem's name. ונאמר בהזהרות עבודת זרה, regarding the prohibitions against עבודת זרה, it says, לא תשתחווה להם ולא תעובדם כי אנוכי השם אלוקיך אלקנה. Do not posture yourself to them, nor shall you worship them, for I am Hashem your God, a jealous God. ועושה לומר כי לא יסלח לעוון עבודת זרה על דרך שליחתו לשאר עבירות. This means that Hashem does not forgive the sin of serving idols in the same manner that he forgives other sins. Along with the line which is written elsewhere in Yirmiyah, I shall forgive you for this, the sin of Avodah Zarah. Your children have forsaken me, they swear by non-gods. Such language also written in the context of prohibition against swearing falsely. Torah says, Ki lo yenakeh Hashem et asher yisai et shemo lashad. You should not take the name of Hashem of your God in vain, for Hashem will not absolve anyone who takes his name in vain. So basically, Abirna is telling us over here that if this language was also written for saying Hashem's name in vain, and also says Avodah Zarah, means these two sins are very severe. It's similar to Avodah Zarah, means the sin of mentioning Hashem's name in vain. ונכתבה הזהרה כשבועה לשקר. אחר הזהרה עבודת זרה. The prohibition against swearing falsely is written after the prohibition against serving idols, meaning that they're similar. יענו יען כי השבועה לשקר נמצא בכנפיה עוון חילול השם יתברך. It's due to the fact that swearing falsely carries with it the sin of Hilul Hashem, just like Avodah Zarah does. In a certain situation, though, swearing falsely could be considered even worse than Avodah Zarah. Nari Birna says, "Ve'amnu rabotim suganam racha, hachakalim suganam racha say." It says in Kohelet Rabbah, Vayikra Rabbah. Regarding which is written, Mishle, Rosh v'ovao she'er al titen li v'gomer pen espa v'kihashti v'amati mi Hashem upen yivaresh v'galafti v'tafasti Hashem Elokai. Give me neither poverty nor wealth, lest I be seen to deny you and say, who is Hashem? Unless I become impoverished and steal and take the name of my God in false oath. The second sin is worse than the first one. Swearing false in Bet Din is worse than denying Hashem, which is basically the essence of Avodah Zarah. It says, "Nevatem Bet Yisrael yishki lav lechla avodo." עבודות ואחר אם אינכם שומעים אליי ואת שם קודשי לא תחללו עוד. And you asked Israel, said the Lord Hashem, or Elohim, let every man go serve his idols, since you do not listen since you do not listen to me, and do not desecrate my holy name any longer with your gifts and with your idols. And Hashem's telling the Jewish people here that if they continue to sin by serving idols, at least do it privately, so that you don't get the Hilul Hashem. Now Rabbi Yonah explains, what does this mean? Okay, so in Olamat, this means to say, Ki onesh hanishbad hasheki bebet din hamud meonesh haover avodah zarah basete. The punishment of one who swears falsely bet din is more severe than the punishment of one who serves avodah zarah in secret, because of the additional punishment of Hilul Hashem. So this just teaches us that Hilul Hashem is just such a big sin. If it's enough to make the sin of swearing falsely even more severe than avodah zarah in private, in secret. והבנו סעונה מלאכה, החכמים שמונה מלאכה said, מסכת שבועות, על כל העבירות שבתורה נפרעים ממנו וממשפחתו. For all transgressions of the Torah, both the transgressor and the family are punished. But here, the transgressor and the entire world is punished. The reason the family, unusual, since the reason the family is also, if someone sins, someone in the family sins, he's punished because the family should have told him it's wrong. They didn't say anything about, they didn't warn him, and obviously if they did, obviously it's not their fault. We're talking, this is the usual case. But over here, when you swear falsely, not only you're punished, but also the entire world. So basically, because it has negative effects on the world. For example, Yirmiyahu said that because of false oaths, the land has become desolate. Meaning that it's because of that you bring tragedies to the world. So now Rabbi Yonah describes a situation which a person who's guilty of causing the Hilul Hashem is associated with a false oath without actually swearing falsely. If Beit Din required a person to take an oath to support his claim, and he knows that his claim is false, not only is it forbidden to actually swear falsely, it's even forbidden to commit to taking the oath in the first place by saying, I will swear. You know you're not going to swear, but you say, I'm going to swear. In order to scare your fellow, thinking that he knows that you're wrong, he knows that you're guilty, really. But you say, I will swear, you're scaring your fellow. Even if he does not actually plan on swearing falsely, as it says, Lotisa. Do not Lotisa, the name of Hashem, your God, in vain. Now what does that mean? What is Lotisa? Veyesh bichal mashmao lo tikabel v'shava lashav. But aside from meaning do not take the name of Hashem in vain, meaning do not swear falsely, it could also mean do not accept to swear in vain. Also, say in Mechilta, an explanation of the words Lo Tisa. V'targum Lo Tisa Shemat Sha. Lo Tikabel. Also, Targum Onkelos translates Lo Tisa a false report as you shall not accept a false report. Which is basically additional proof that could also mean you shall not accept. And what does it mean that you shall not accept? It means that you can't you also can't accept to say, or meaning you can't also you say, yeah, I'll swear, and you're really not swearing to scare your fellow. And this is also considered taking a false swear. That's what Birna is telling us. So Birna continues, ואסור להישבע חינם אף על פי שלא נשבע על האמת. It's also forbidden to swear without cause, even if one swears truthfully. And just swear for no reason, like unfortunately a lot of people do today. Shneimar says, "Lo tisa et Shem Elokecha lasham." Shall not take the name of Hashem for shav. V'targumo lemaganav. Targum renders as for no reason. Shav means for no reason. וכן, המסרב להשפיע את חברו חינם גדול עוונו. Likewise, one who causes his fellow to become obligated to take an unnecessary oath has committed a great sin. For example, one's fellow owed him a manet. והתפורע תביעתו למען ינתק קו הדין על הודעתו במקצת לשעבר שבועת התורה. But instead of the plaintiff actually falsely adding to his claim, so that the halacha will require him to take a swear from the Torah, for his partial admission, או שתובע את חברו על חינם אשר לא ידע לשלהו, or if one makes a frivolous claim against his fellow, demanding that he should pay, of which he knows nothing, mashpio shewat hasad, thereby obligating his fellow to swear in a hesed oath. So basically, the Birna is basically saying over here another thing. Lotisa, so the Birna says also it's forbidden to swear. You're not allowed to swear without cause, for no reason. And this includes telling someone to swear for something it's not necessary to swear for. If you know it's no point of the swear, you're not allowed to make someone swear, not just you, also your friend, your fellow. And this is also, for example, if you owed someone money, if someone owed him money, and he added to the claim, meaning he said, no, not only he, so the guy, okay, he admits, he says, okay, I'll give you this, I'll give you the money. But he says, no, the other guy, no, you also stole, you also need to give me back this. You also stole this from me, what are you saying? But he said, no, I didn't steal anything else, this is all I stole, I'm giving it back. So now he's making it obligated from the Torah to make a swear. Because if you partially make a swear, if you only agree to half of something or partially of a swear, say yes, I admit that I stole this, but I didn't steal this. You have to swear that you didn't steal it. The things that you're claiming you didn't steal. Or if one makes a claim against his fellow, he says you have to pay a debt that he doesn't know anything about. He says, I don't know what you're talking about. You stole this from me. He's like, what? I don't even know what you're talking about. And this is you're obligated to make Shavuot Hesed, which is a swear that's the Rabbanan. So continuing. ואמרו רבותינו כי זה האיש נקרא גנב שגונב דעת הבריות. Additionally, Hachamim said that in Shavuot that such a person is called a thief, and for he steals the mind of people, meaning he deceives them, thinking that the defendant owes him money, but he really doesn't. V'alav ne'emad, regarding him, it says in Zechariah, Osetia ne'um Hashem, v'el bet hagana v'el bet hanishba b'shmei l'shaker ונענה וטוב וטוב וקלעתו ואת הישר ואת ההבנה. I've taken the curse out, says Hashem, and it shall enter the house of the thief, and the house of the one who swears falsely in my name, and it shall lodge within his house and annihilate it with its wood and stones. So basically, so you also consider it if you tell others, you're making others swear for no reason, you're considered a thief, someone who steals. So Pasuk says, so because I have taken out the curse out of, I've taken the curse out, says Hashem, and it shall enter the house of a thief, and the house of one who swears falsely. Shall lodge within his house and annihilate it with wood and stones. That's thief and one who swears falsely next to each other. Rabbi Yonah concludes about swearing falsely. ומי שהוא יודע ושיהיה משווה יחשדו אותו בני אדם השוואות מפני המטראות. Finally, one who knows that if he swears truthfully, people will nevertheless suspect him of having sworn falsely because of this evidence. They have some type of evidence against his claim. יש בו להימנע ולחסוך לנפשו מן השוואה לכבוד שמיים. He should refrain from taking the oath for the honor of heaven, גם כי האמת איתו. Even though telling the truth would not therefore be guilty of swearing falsely. So Rabbi Yonah just ends off something. He says, if you swearing, if you know yourself, you're swearing truthfully. Let's say that I have a claim against you. You stole such and such money from someone. Now you don't, you know that you didn't steal. But people say, hey, we have this evidence. Look at this the cameras over here. Who is this? This looks exactly like this person, the one who stole. So now you're looking at this. You say, I know I didn't steal. And you swore. Yeah, and are you allowed to swear? That if they make you go now and swear, so what do you have to do? Do you swear or not? The answer is, one should refrain from swearing in honor of heaven, even though he's going to be guilty. But he's not obligated to do so. Meaning, if he really, even if he does swear, then he's not going to be guilty of swearing falsely, because he didn't really swear falsely. But the thing is over here is that it's a useless swear. They're still thinking you as guilty, regardless. But if you think it could help you, then go for it. If you wanna be l'shem shemayim, then don't swear. So Rabbi Yonah continues, Saif Mem Vav, with another thing about Rabbi Yonah discusses the prohibition against cursing, which is another exception to the general rule that prohibitions that involve speech or accept liability to malchut. So another list of our 3 things. Elokim lo tekadeh lenasi ve'amecha lo ta'od. The Torah says Shemot. Do not curse Elokim, and you shall not curse a Nasi among your people. Lo tekadeh cheresh. The Torah also says, you shall not curse a deaf person. Utanu b'zeh shelo tekadeh ish miYisrael b'Hashem ve'lo b'echad mikol habinuyin. With this we've been commanded not to curse a Jew with the name of Hashem or any of the terms used to describe it. Meaning over here, don't curse the Jew. Don't curse a Jew with the name of Hashem or any terms used to describe him. Meaning to say, even if you're saying, for example, to someone, God kill you, then it's also included in this. So Rebbeinu explains why the Torah singled out the specific types of people when the prohibition applies to cursing anyone. Meaning, why did the pasuk just say, don't curse these certain people, don't curse Hashem, and don't curse Nasi'im, and don't curse a deaf person? Why did it only specify those? Why should not should the Torah so specified, you shall not curse a judge, a Nasi, and a deaf person? Not because the prohibition is limited just to these types of people. Obviously, the prohibition is far broader. Each example was mentioned in the pasuk for a specific reason. Is because the Torah is coming to warn about the situations when one might be tempted to curse. That is meaning that it warns a person not to curse a judge after the judge has found him liable. Meaning, if a judge finds you hayav, so what would you think? So you'd say, okay, you curse him, say, I'm not, why are you lying? Why do you say I'm guilty? I'm not really guilty. And you start cursing him. So basically, the Torah is just saying what's common. And not to curse a Nasi after the Nasi has punished him, delivering him into the hands of a transgression. Meaning that he's getting suffering the consequences for your sin. The Torah found necessary to specify mentioning the person, אין עונש בקרבתו, עד אשר איננו שומר ולא ישיגהו צער על קרבתו. Thus the person say to himself, there's no punishment for cursing a deaf person, since he does not hear and he will not be paid from a curse directed at him. So nothing's happening. Who cares if you're cursing? So that's why the Torah had to mention these 3 things, because one is more tempted and he thinks there's nothing wrong with it. However, Rebbeinu notes an exception to the prohibition against cursing a judge. בסוף פרשת המשפטים נכתב אלוקים לא תקלל. You shall not curse a judge is written at the end of the Torah, a portion of Torah that deals with civil law. למות שלא תקלל לשופט את המשפטים האלה. Convey that it's forbidden for you to curse only one who judges according to these statutes just set forth. You may curse one who judges unlawfully. Meaning, if he's a judge that's emet, he judges truthfully, you cannot curse him. But if he's a bad judge, he takes bribes. He's not judging correctly. Of course, you're allowed to curse such a judge. So continuing, Rabbi Yonah says, the punishment for one who curses with the name of Hashem. Hakamim said that one who curses his fellow or himself with the name of Hashem is liable to Malkut. Additionally, he is liable to tremendous punishment at the hands of heaven. Shneimar, as it says, Im lo tishmor לעשות את כל דברי התורה הזאת ויראת השם הנכבד והנורא הזה את השם אלוקיך ויפלא השם את מלכותיך, etc. If you will not be careful to perform all the words of the Torah, to fear and dishonor and awesome name Hashem, your God, then Hashem will make extraordinary your blows. פרשו, עניין הפסוק הזה על מי שמקלל את חברו או את עצמו בהשם. Nachalin Zvanah explained in Masech Temura that this pasuk is referring to one who curses his fellow or himself with the name of Hashem. So again, what Rabbi Yonah is basically saying over here is that you're liable to Malkut if you curse with the name of Hashem. And not only that, you're Haya Bidei Shamayim. You're Haya for punishment in the next world. Says that if you'll not be careful to perform all the words of this Torah, to fear and honor and to fear and dishonor and awesome name Hashem your God, and Hashem make extraordinary your blows, meaning in the next world. And Hakamim said this refers to one who curses his fellow with the name of Hashem. Simon Zayin. ואסור לאדם שיאמר כן שיהו השם יבשל השם כאשר הדבר הזה דבר אמת בעיניהו כזב. It's forbidden for a person to say, as this matter is true, just as this matter is true, so Hashem saved me. Meaning, if this matter is true, then Hashem should save me. This. And if that matter is really false, because he cursed himself with the name of Hashem. For we're going to derive a negative from the positive. Therefore, if you said, if this matter is false, Hashem should not save me, it's a curse. So meaning, what he's basically saying is that, meaning, let's say a person says, if such and such is true, then Hashem should save you. Meaning that you're really cursing yourself, because if it's not true, it means you're saying the opposite. Don't save me. Meaning, that's also considered cursing with the name of Hashem. And in fact, you're actually cursing yourself with the name of Hashem. Or at least you're potentially doing that. That's why that's not allowed. Saif Mem Het. Rabbi Yonah returns to his list of prohibitions involving speech that are not subject to Malkut. So now back to our prohibitions involving speech. יין ושקר על טשט ולהבדיל בין קודש ובין החול Ularot et bnei Israel. The Pasuk says in Vayikra, do not drink wine or intoxicating beverages. A beverage. And when you come to distinguish between the sacred and the profane, between the contaminated and the pure, to instruct the children of Israel, all the decrees that Hashem has spoken to them through Moshe. Basically, this is a prohibition against issuing halachic rulings after drinking an alcoholic beverage. Amigos were not in the class. Amigos were not in the class. Said Kedetot. השותה רביעית יין שאינו מגוס במים כמים היורד. Or drinks the revit of wine has not been mixed with water. You may not issue a halachic ruling until you're certain that the alcohol is no longer affecting him. ואם שתה יותר מהרביעית אף על פי שמזכו על יורד. And if you drink more than a revit, then he may not issue a halachic ruling even if he mixed with water. Basically what Abirna is telling us over here is that so Abirna brings another issue. Should not drink wine, and when you come to distinguish between the sacred and the profane, meaning when you come to say this is right and this is wrong, meaning for the Hachamim to make halachot, it should not be intoxicated with wine. And what's the size the Birna says that's considered? The size that you're intoxicated when you drink a revit of wine. Now, if it's a revit with no water mixed down with it, then you can't make a ruling of halakha. But if it's more than a revit, even with water, when it's watered down, you still can't make a halachic ruling. Saif memtet, another rule, another issue revolving speech. Velo tono yishet amito. Torah says Vayikra, each of you shall not distress his fellow. Pasuk is speaking about causing distress with words. Kasher ikdamnu lema'ala, as we wrote about. Amnu Rabotenu, Hachamim said, the Mishnah in Baba Messiah, היה בעל תשובה לא יאמר לא זכור מעשיך הראשונים. Someone is about teshuvah, one should not say to him, remember your past sinful deeds. היה בן גרים לא יאמר לא זכור מעשה אבותיך. And two, if someone is descended from converts, one should not say to him, remember the deeds of your non-Jewish ancestors. So Abirna says another rule, another issue involving speech, which is not to distress your fellow. And how do you distress your fellow? So the Mishnah brings two examples of this. One, if someone's about teshuvah, don't say to him, "Oh, remember your those days you used to go and you sin and do all these types of sins." Another thing is saying to someone who's a convert that, well, you remember the deeds of your ancestors who are goyim. Now Birna elaborates on the second example. Which is said, do not distress or oppress a stranger, meaning a convert. Get. Hachamim explain, you should not distress them verbally with words. Should not oppress refers to financially with money. Meaning like overcharging and underpaying him for an item. In addition to the prohibition of verbally distressing any Jew, you also get another. There's also another issue for distressing a convert. Yeah, the Torah warns in several places against about distressing a convert. ובפני אשר שבח עמו ובית אביו ובא העצות תחת כנפי השכינה, because he abandoned the house of his father to seek refuge under the wings of the divine presence. Kanyar Nehemiah says in Ruth, who was a convert, "Atazvi avich v'imech ve'eres moladsech v'atelchi elan asher lo yadat." And you abandoned your father and your mother and the land of your birth, and went to a people that you had not known. Nehemiah said, and said, משכורתך שלמה מעם השם אלוהי ישראל אשר באת לחצות תחת כנפיו. And may your payment be full from Hashem, the God of Israel, under whose wings ye have come to seek refuge. Basically, Baron is telling us over here that to also, there's another pasuk that mentions specifically about a stranger, do not distress him. And the pasuk says, do not distress or oppress a stranger. Distressing him refers to with words, putting him down, things like that. And the stranger and oppressing him is with money. Don't overcharge him, undercharge him, whatever it may be. So, then Rabbi Yonah says that the Torah warned in several places about distressing a convert because he's willing to abandon the house of his. Because a convert left the house of his fathers to come under the wings of the divine presence, and that's not an easy thing to do. And that's why the Torah refers to gerim as gerim. That's why converts are referred to as ger, strangers, because they are really strangers. They're coming from different family. They're coming from goyim. They're just coming. No one knows them. They're just coming in. That's why they're referred to as strangers. So continuing, and Berna also says, "Mashal Shiva the Eder Risham in Bats." One convert who converts to Judaism could be compared to a deer that came from the wild to a flock of sheep in an enclosure and laid down there. And instead of returning to the wild, he grazed with the sheep. The owner of the flock had compassion on the deer. They abandoned the roomy pasture from the wild for a cramped place with the sheep. And this mashal, the nifshal is that in this mashal, the Jews are the sheep. The goy, or the convert, is the deer. The deer now comes from his family as deers, and the Jews who are not really such a good in a cramped place. The deer comes to the sheep, and he starts grazing with them. He lays down with them, and the owner of the sheep, the shepherd, says, "Hey, let me take in this, this deer," and he takes him with extra care, more than all the other sheep, because you have to sacrifice in order to join. He was living in a place of, he was living in a better place. Now he's coming over here. So it's with the goyim. They come from good places. They had a lot of money, things like that. They sacrificed it all to come to the Jewish nation. That's why Hashem treats them with extra care. Saif Nun, another transgression through speech. Lo yahare rabim liraot. Torah says, do not follow the many for evil. וטענו בזה שלא להחזיק ידי עוברי עבירה בדברים. With this we're commanded not to lend verbal support to sinners. Don't support sinners. Don't say that they're great and all that. ושלא להתחבר אל המסכימים אל העוול. Also, we recommend not to associate with the condone corruption. We find Yashin Elad. Along the lines which he says, לא תאמרו קשר לכל אשר יאמר העם הזה כאשר. Now we claim a correlation regarding all those who people will proclaim a correlation. Basically, again, another thing we're saying over here is do not praise the evil people and do not say they're great and put them up. It's asur to associate with the wicked person even in worldly matters, meaning you cannot be business partner with him. Shneimar, as it says, with regard to the righteous king Yehoshaphat, because you joined together with Ahaziah, Hashem has wrecked your undertakings. Furthermore, it is forbidden to associate with a wicked person even for a mitzvah matter. Shneimar, as it says, do not envy the man of violence and do not choose any of his ways. Hakamim, so when class stated in Avot Rabbi Natan, Alti Havala Shafilu Dvar Mitzvah. Do not associate with the wicked person even for mitzvah matter. So Bernard is telling us something very interesting. Saying you're not allowed to have as your business partner a Rasha, wicked person. He cannot be your business partner. And not only that, also for things that are for mitzvot. Let's say you're having a thing, want to open up a shul, or you want to start some type of thing for poor people. If the person's a rasha, you're not allowed to do it. As a king, righteous king, who Yehoshaphat, who joined together with Ahaziah, and Hashem punished him for it. So that's what we're saying over here. So the consequences, Berna says, ways of the death that may be encountered by associating with the wicked are many. There's no need to speak in greater length about this, because we already revealed the severity of the sin and the heavy punishment for transgressing it. So that's that. So very nice. You're saying they're associating with the wicked people. Punishment for it is tremendous. Saif nun bet. Another prohibition. Transgress the words with do not place a stumbling block before the blind. Pasuk, we're commanded not to issue a halakhic ruling to the Jewish people that is improper or inconsistent with halakha. doesn't just mean a stumbling block. It also means that. So Rabbeinu continues. Amru Zena Malacha. Rabbeinu Zena Malacha said, first Mishnah, Pirkei Avot, Havu Metunin Badin. Be deliberate in judgment. ונמהרה לב להבין ולראות לא יסירו את נפשם היטב משאול לפני עיוור. Those who are overly eager to grasp and a matter and to issue a ruling about it will not be able to prevent themselves from placing a stumbling block in front of the blind by issuing incorrect ruling. And the sin is very severe. Moshe Ne'emar, לא ידעו ולא יבינו בחשיבה, בחשיכה יתהלכו, ימותו כל מושבי הארץ. They do not know nor do not understand. They walk in darkness, all the foundations of the earth collapse. ועוד אמרו, החכמים also said in פרקי אבות הווי, זהיר בתלמוד שכינת תלמוד עולה זדון. Be careful in your study of Torah for unintentional errors in Torah. Study are treated like willful ones. So basically, Rabbeinu is telling us here the prohibition of not to place a stumbling block before the blind. So, the Rabbeinu says that this means that we are commanded not to issue a halakha that is inconsistent with halakha. So, basically, Rabbeinu is basically saying over here that this is one. That's why someone should be slow to judgment. Realize if it's according to halakha or not, and etc. And that's what Rabbeinu is saying. Also, Rabbeinu brings another Mishnah says, "Be careful when you study of Torah, because unintentional errors are treated like willful ones." When it comes to study of Torah, because unintentional errors only come because you didn't. It's really only unintentional, really, because of the actual intention, meaning that since you didn't make sure enough that what you're doing is the right halakha. That's why it came to this. But that's obviously if you didn't check yourself enough. Of course, now if you were reviewing halakha 10, 20, 30 times, making sure this is the right halakha to establish, and you saw that was not good, so that's really an unintentional error. We're talking about now that it's like meaning that you didn't check yourself, you didn't care, you're just saying random halachot, you're just establishing that now you're not allowed to do this and this and this. It's not consistent with halakha. It's considered like a willful error. ואמרו, החכמים also said in מסכת סוטה, כי רבים חללים הפילה, the pasuk says משלי, for she had fell many victims. זה תלמיד שלו הגיע להוראה ומורה. So first, a student who has not reached the level of knowledge and necessary to issue halakhic rulings, but he issues halakhic rulings anyway. Meaning, so again, this pasuk that says that she has felt many victims. Refers to a student who is not on the level of establishing halachot, and either way he does. This is also not allowed. So continues. Number of her slain is huge. This refers to a student who has reached the level of knowledge. It is necessary to issue halakhic rulings, but he refrains from issuing halakhic rulings. So again, now also the same is true with everyone else. Is the opposite. If you know that you have the capability, meaning you know that you're on the level to make halachot, and you don't. So now people are gonna make sins because of you. They're not gonna know what to do, and there's no set halakha for it because of you, and they won't know if they're sinning or not. Saif Nun Gima. On the basis of this pasuk, we shall not place someone block before a blind man. We also commandment that he esa ogenet shela sheri va'es imanu. Give suitable advice to whoever seeks our counsel. Meaning, it is not to cause the person seeking advice to stumble on account of foolish advice. And not one is not to give his fellow advice that is based on what is good for himself. Rather, he has to give advice which is good for the person. So again, another meaning of not to make your not to place someone blind before a blind man is don't give a person foolish advice. You know he's a foolish guy. You tell him foolish advice. Even just saying that you're telling someone to sell you something for a cheap price. This guy's a foolish guy. Doesn't know business. You know that you're ripping him off. He's getting ripped off. But you do it anyway. Say it's a good deal. Yeah. That's also included in not to place a stumbling block before a blind man. And when one gives advice, it has to, in order to prevent this from happening, give someone advice that's good for him, not for yourself. That's what Birna tells us. It's safe to dalit. וחייב האדם לחשוב מחשבות ולעלות בני לעשות הגונות ומתוקסות לחברו. A person is obligated to put thought into how to illuminate a situation with good and proper advice for his fellow. Indeed, this is one of the primary ways of gemilut hasadim, bestowing kindness upon others. It says Mishle, Shem Torah Yisamach Le Umetek Lereu Neasat Nafesh. Just as oil and incense gladdens the heart, so does one's fellow experience sweetness from sincere counsel. So Abraham's just telling us over here that one's also obligated to think. Actually, like kind of as if it was for himself. Of what he would do in such a situation, tell him and give him a good advice, and put some thought into it, not just telling him what comes out of his mind. And this is considered gemilut hasadim if you do so. As the pasuk says, just as oil and incense gladdens the heart, so shall one's fellow experience sweetness from sincere counsel. Another prohibition involving speech. Torah says, do not go as a the gossip monger among your people. אמרו לסגנון הלכה, חכמים שונא הלכה עשר כתובות, כי בכלל האזהרה הזאת שלא להוציא שם רע על איש מבני עמנו. The including this provision is that one may not defame any member of our nation by spreading false information about. ועונשו חמור בידי שמיים כאשר יתבעט במדרגה היהווה מיתה. What transgresses this prohibition? His punishment at the hands of heaven is severe, as will be clarified below. When the category of those who are subject to death at the hands of heaven, which we'll present to him and get to eventually. All the knows when our Hakamis when our also said in Kitubot. Also, Rakil America Zara, the Dayan Shiloya, Zevi Kasher, Lazet. Pasuk, that the Pasuk do not go about Rakil. It's will give people as a warning to a judge not to be soft to this guy and the other to be harsh to that guy. So basically what Pirana is telling us over here is another prohibition is that do not be a gossip monger among your people, meaning that included in this prohibition is not to spread any false information about him. In other words, Motzi Shemra. And his punishment at the hands of heaven is very severe. And also, when Pasuk says, do not go about as a Rachil for your people, it's warning a judge not to be soft. Because this one would be harsh to the other one. That's another provision that we could derive from this pasuk. Saif Nunva, another provision involves speech. Hashem Elokim Ahirim Lo Taskiru. Torah says, do not, the name of strange gods you should not mention. Lo Yomar Adam Havero, this teaches that, for example, one may not say to his fellow, wait for me till next such of an avodah zara. So Birana tells us an interesting halakha that one may not say to his fellow, you know where I'm at. We know what location I'm at. Wherever such and such avodah zara. You mentioned the avodah zara. That's the place where I am at. You're not allowed to do that. To say the name of the avodah zara, that's my location. Can't use that as a location. Think of something else. There's other surroundings. Second design, another prohibition that involves speech. Velo tehanem. Torah says lo tehanem. Kinshu Rabotenu Hakamim explained that Masih avodah zara lo titin lahem hen. The word Hanem is related to the word hen, favor. The pasuk could therefore be understood as saying, shall not give them favor. And it's forbidden for a person to speak favorably about idolaters. For example, say, this idolater is very beautiful. So another law, so what it means by law tehanem is don't show favor to don't say praises to idol worshippers, for example. And by example, say the idolater is beautiful. Don't give him any compliments. He doesn't deserve it. Or פירשו שלא תיתן להם מתנת חינם. The Hakamim also explained that the word tehanem is related to hinam, free. According to this, it could be understood that it's forbidden to give idolaters a free gift, meaning that you're not receiving any benefit from it. So another interesting halakha. Someone who worships Avodah Zarah, everyone else is also telling us. You can see derived from this pasuk that you can't accept a free. You're not allowed to give a free gift without receiving any benefit of the idol worshiper. You need to get something back in return for it. Another prohibition involving speech, Saif It. Torah says, and there shall not be anyone like Korah in his assembly. It's on a dream. כל המחזיק במחלוקת עובד בלאו. Anyone who persists in a מחלוקת transgresses a biblical prohibition. שנאמר says, ולא יהיה בקורח וקהלתו. There should not be anyone like Korah in his assembly. Basically, so another prohibition, not to be like Korah in his assembly who had a machloket with Moshe Rabbeinu. Now, Rabbi said, מותר לספר לשון הרע על בעלי המחלוקת. מותר speak לשון הרע about those who engage in מחלוקת if they'll put an end to it. שנאמר, as it says in מלאכים א', ולי אני עבדך וסדוק הכהן, etc. ואדוניה has gone down today and slaughtered ox, fatted bull, and sheep in abundance. And he invited the king's sons, the generals of the army, and Evitan the Kohen. Behold, they are eating and drinking before him, and they have said, long live Adoniah, but me, your servant, as well as Sadok Kohen, Benaiah the son of Yehoiada, your servant Shlomo, you did not invite. Basically, what's happening in this pasuk is when David HaMelech was old, his son Adoniah tried to claim his throne for himself. Although Shlomo HaMelech was supposed to get the next king. So having enlisted considerable support, including that of the general Yoav ben Zeruiah, David's general, and the Kohen Gadol, Eviatar, Adoniah held a bouquet, a celebration to celebrate his kingdom and for him becoming king. And the Natan HaNavi sent Bathsheba, Shlomo's mother, to tell David HaMelech about Adoniah's actions and told her that he would approach the king and embellish her words, filling his mouth with lashon hara about Adoniah. So here we see that since it seems that if she was allowed to say lashon hara, allowed to tell David HaMelech about what his son, the bad that his son's doing, that it seems if it's going to put an end to it, it's allowed. It's mutar to say lashon hara. That's the point. And not only that, everyone goes one step further. And there are times when it's you're hayav to have a machloket with others. Second Tet, מי שאינו יחזיק במחלוקת על המתייצבים, על דרך כבודו ומשפיע העוון, although generally forbidden to quarrel with others, to have machloket, one does not argue with those who stand on the path that is no good and draw sin to themselves. They will be punished for their sins, rebellious behavior, and all their sins, for failing to protest. one who also transgresses the vital prohibition. It says, you shall reprove your fellow and you shall not bear a sin because of him. So basically what we're saying over here is that when if one's you have to have a machloket with those who are drawing sins to themselves by telling them what are you doing, and you have to protest against them. Even if it's gonna start fights, you have to do all you can. Try to make him not sin. And if you don't, then you'll be punished for a sin. Then in modern it says, Mime Agimara Hatata, Israel Shama Madu, Lo Tasigim Magimara Mechamah Al Bene Allah. Says in Yoshua that since the days of Giv'ah, sin Israel that there they stood, the war of Giv'ah against the men of transgression would not have been waged. The meaning is, if this generation had been there during the episode of the concubine of Giv'ah, lo shiga otam tagava mehama levara. They would not wage war Giv'ah to eliminate the evil from their midst. Like that generation who did wage war against the tribe of Binyamin to eliminate the evildoers. So basically what happened over here is that the Averna cites a pasuk that Hashem, through Hosea Hanavi, rebukes the Jewish people for failing to have machloket with others for doing the wrong thing. Because with the incident of the concubine of Giv'ah, what happened was that in the residence of Giv'ah, located in the territory of Binyamin, someone assaulted a concubine, leading to her death, and this made all the Jews angry, and then they went into war. And when the tribe of Binyamin refused to turn over for the people who did this to be punished, other tribes joined together to wage war against the tribe of Binyamin for not doing what was right and getting them punished. And basically, Averna explains that the meaning of the pasuk is that if this generation, the generation of Hosea, had been there by the episode of the concubine of Giv'ah, they would have not have waged war in Giv'ah to eliminate the evil from their midst, like that generation who waged the war against the tribe of Binyamin to eliminate the evildoers. Meaning that if the war would not happen. They should not have had a war. Like they should not have the war like this incident. But but he's basically over here that he's saying about his generation that when they didn't do anything over here. But at least Hoshea is saying that in their generation of the incident that was done, at least they were actually like they done something to against they tried to punish they went into war against the Shaim, who didn't do anything about this tragedy. According to this, they stood there means as if they stood there, even though it doesn't have the word if. Similar vein, and he left his father, it surely means for if he leaves his father, even because he really didn't. He wasn't. Even though if is missing, it still means if. Over here. And we're now continuing to explain the pasuk in Hosea. Hosea means to say, granted you have sinned from the time. Until now, the sense, in that sense, you are no worse than those who lived then. Nevertheless, the people of that generation, they were better than you. But they assembled and stood their ground to eliminate the evil from among them. Whereas you don't even do that. That's what we were saying before. Nehemiah also says Shoftim. Oru meroz amar malach Hashem oru ador. Yotvea ki lo va'u le'ezat Hashem b'giburim. Curse meroz, said the angel Hashem. Curses are the inhabitants, but they failed to come to the aid of Hashem, to aid Hashem against the Almighty. Nehemiah says, Devarim, Lo tagurim p'reneh ish, you shall not tremble before any man. And yeah, basically, we're not just bring sources that one should that a person who comes to protest against someone who's coming to sin, he's cursed. Also, the Torah says, do not tremble for any man, meaning don't be scared to say to other people, don't be scared of what they'll say back to you if you say anything that you're not allowed to do. So, the very now says, in times of danger, sometimes you have to even place yourself in danger in order to confront the wicked. Anyone who is dedicated to Hashem should even place his life in danger to sanctify his name. Shemada says, regarding the Hittite, Mila Hashem Elai Ve'asu Elako B'nei Levi. Moshe stood at the gate of the camp and said, whoever is for Hashem, join me. All the Levim gathered around him. And what the Levim did was to actually put themselves in danger. Because if they were actually lying, and if they were lying, then they would have died. And Nehemiah, it said, Vayad Minhas Omer Vaikan Omach Ve'ado. Minhas Ben Elazar Ben Aaron Cohen saw, and he took a spear in his hand. And also over here, Minhas put himself in danger by killing the Nasi of Shimon, because he was a Nasi. The Jews probably get very angry at him for doing such a thing, but he still did it anyway. which teaches us that one should also confront the wicked even if it means placing himself in danger, his life in danger. So continuing, the video now concludes by noting a situation in which confronting sinners is of particular importance. وضع يديه أبكي وإذ هو للعير كنعان. It's incumbent upon anyone who fears Hashem, even if he loves purity of heart, and is therefore a person of gentle or refined nature, to arouse joyously for Hashem. If he sees that the hands of the officers and the chiefs are involved in the transgression. Said, called any breach that does not originate with the leaders is not a serious breach because there is little chance that it will spread. Nehemiah says, the hands of the officers and the chiefs have been at the forefront of this transgression. Here now resume. So basically, what we're not saying over here is that that if he loves that someone who even if someone loves the purity of the heart, the gentle person, refined nature. If he sees that, even if he sees that the officers, chiefs, and great people are involved in this transgression, and if you, even if it's your rabbi, you have to go and say, "Excuse me, Rabbi." You have to confront him and say, "This is I've seen that this isn't right what you said, or done something wrong over here. It's not good. Is there something that I'm understanding, or is it that I don't know?" And obviously, the rabbi knows he realizes he did something wrong. He'll realize, he'll say Mehillah and all that. Because Hakamim said that any breach that does not originate with the leaders of the nation is not a serious breach, because there's a little chance that it will spread. Because if it doesn't come from the leaders, so if it's just a regular guy, what's the chances it's going to spread? This ruling. It has to come from a big leader, or else it's not going to be a famous ruling. As it says, in the hands of the officer and chiefs has been the foremost of this transgression. So continuing, Saif Sama. They are not resumes list of prohibitions and involve speech. وحكم بني إسرائيل شفاعه الله تدل الله بفعله. But that says, but with your brethren, the children of Israel, a man with his brother shall not subjugate him through harsh labor. It teaches that person forbidden to subjugate his Jews, to compel them to do something that they don't wish to do. That is, if a person is feared by others or they're ashamed to go against his word, may not a man to do something, do any favor for him, large or small, unless they truly wish to do it, or unless it's for their benefit. I feel him all that sit basically area هو يريد نوع كيكاد For such a person, even asking another person to perform a small favor for him, for example, to open a flask of water for him, or to go out on his behalf to say street and buy him a loaf of bread is forbidden. If it's possible that he might agree to do it only because of fear of or shame. So Abirna is just telling us over here, as similarly we mentioned last time, that and this is from the Torah, that you should not a man with his brother, you shall not subjugate him to harsh labor. What does that mean? Harsh labor means don't make them do something that they don't wish to do. And this is anything. And this means that this person, you want him to do something, a favor for you. You putting him under pressure, or he fears you. You're not allowed to even ask him to do something for you. Does he really want to do it? No, he's just doing it. Really, if he had the choice, he would not do it. He's not doing it as a favor. He's just doing it because he fears you. It's basically that he's doing it against his will in a way. And it's asut even to ask, if you know this person fears you, you're not allowed to even ask him for him to do a favor. But the Birna says there's an exception to the rule. אבל אדם שאינו נוהג כשורה מותר סבותו לכל אשר יחפוץ. Person who does not behave properly, meaning he disregards the laws of the Torah, permitted to demand such a person anything that one wishes, even if it's going to cause him distress or he doesn't want to do it. If it's a person who does not behave properly, so it's mutar to do so. Ask for whatever other permission that could be transgressed through speech. Torah says, you shall not desecrate my holy name. Some among the prohibitions that carry the liability, a more severe form of karet, which is losing your share in the world to come, as will be explained below. כי ההפסד האדם המצוי בנפשו והמון העם הלא הוא על שפת לשון. Should know that the loss to destruction that is most commonly found in the souls of the masses is on the account of speech. כי הם מזכירים שם השמיים לבטלה, because they mention the name of heaven in vain, וגם מזכירים מבלי מורא. And they also mention it without proper awe. ועל עניין זה פירוש פירשו וזוגנם לך, מה שכתוב ישראל לא ידע. Harim Zanaraka explained that it's written in the Pasuk, an ox knows the owner and the donkey is Mama's straw. But Yisrael does not know Hashem as a reference to mentioning Hashem's name in this manner. גם אינם מדקדמים דקים בנקיות המקום ונקיון kafayim. People also are not careful regarding cleanliness of the place in which they mention Hashem's name, or the cleanliness of their hands when they mention it. This too shows a lack of proper respect for Hashem's name and is considered a desecration of it. So basically, Abirna is saying over here that another prohibition, that shall not desecrate my holy name, meaning that this has the more severe form of karet, and this form of karet is you losing your share in the world to come by desecrating Hashem's name, because karet could also be to shorten your physical life. And Birna basically says over here, and you should know, also instruction the most commonly found in souls is on the account of speech, because they regularly mention the name of heaven in vain. It's not a big deal. They don't care. They don't recognize the proper offer. They don't have proper oral when they mention it. They don't care. They take it as it's nothing crazy. And the Hakamim explain that when the Pasuk says an ox knows his owner and the donkey his master's show, but he still does not know Hashem, what does it mean that he did not know Hashem? It means mentioning Hashem's name. They did not know Hashem, as in that they did not know Hashem. Meaning that they did not really know who He is. Of course, now we don't really know who Hashem is in a sense. Well, they didn't know Hashem enough, if that's how you want to say it. And this also includes to desecrate Hashem's name. Also include, as we said before, if someone's not careful we're saying Hashem's name in clean places, then also that's also desecrating Hashem's name, because you're basically saying Hashem's name, you're belittling Hashem's name. וחכמי ישראל היו מנהגים ומשמטים הם ההוציא שבשמיים לבטלה. חכמים ישראל also would place someone who uttered the name of Hashem in vain into nidui and shamta, meaning they would excommunicate him. They'll put him on the ban. והיו הושתים אותו על השבוע, and they considered him suspect in regard to oaths. We'll explain in a second. ועמדו, החכמים said, השומע מחברו שמזכיר שם משמיים לבטלה, one of hears his fellow utter the name of Hashem in vain, צריך לנדותו, is required to excommunicate that person. אם לא דהו, if he fails to excommunicate him, הוא עצמו יהיה בנידוי, then he himself will be excommunicated. So basically, Rebbeinu is telling us that the Hakamim Yisrael would put him on the ban if he says Hashem's name in vain. And not only that, they considered him a suspect with regard to oaths, meaning that usually in certain cases, a person cannot win his case unless he swears to support his claim, obviously. So, in the majority of cases where an oath swear is required, it's the defendant who must swear. Most of the time, it's the defendant. Meaning, if he swears, he doesn't have to pay. But if he refuses to swear, he must pay. Now, when the Beit Din has reason to believe that the defendant is likely to swear falsely, he's not allowed to swear to exempt himself. Meaning that if the Beit Din thinks that he's going to swear falsely, they cannot ask him to swear. Rather, in such a situation, the Beit Din allows them to collect the money if he swears to support his claim. The plaintiff to collect them if he swears. Now, the Rebbeinu is teaching over here that one who says Hashem's name in vain is included in this category of those who cannot be trusted with an oath. Those defendants. So, meaning you're gonna think, because it's very logical. If he always mentions the name of Hashem, then obviously he's gonna come and also swear falsely in the name of Hashem. He just says the name of Hashem casually, like it's not a big deal. He says Hashem's name in vain. You cannot make him swear, because we obviously you would think, you have to assume that he's gonna swear falsely. סעיף סמך ב' ועד דברת בני האדם שאינם נזהרים בלשון לכבוד תלמידי חכמים. Regards to the people who are not careful to speak respectfully about תלמידי חכמים, בין בפניהם בין שלא בפניהם, whether in the presence of Torah scholars or not in their presence, נעשים על פי קודשים שאין להם חלק לעולם הבא. Consider Apikosim and have no share in the world to come. וכן הודעה לבא בכיתות הלא הוא בחטאת פרימו דבד שבתמו. Likewise, the destruction of the four classes of people who do not merit to greet the countenance of the Shekinah is on the account of sins of their mouths and on their lips. Hakol kemo sheitba'eh b'shad hazeh, which will all be explained later in the Shad. Ken Katu is on account of which is written the pasuk, Ma'ad hayim b'yad lashon, death and life are in the hands of the tongue. Basically, Abiran's telling us here that another prohibition that involves speech, that one who's not careful to speak respectfully about Talmidei Hachamim have no share in the world to come. Even if it's not in their presence, they're considered apikosim, and they have no share in the world to come. And also that the Rana says the destruction of those including the four classes of people who not merit to greet the councils of Shekinah is the sins of their mouths. Now the Rana is just saying, now that we basically finished saying all the sins that Rana mentioned about the mouth and about speech, now the Rana just says that basically one of the four classes, the four classes of people who don't get merit to greet the Shekinah, the four classes are scoffers, they're liars, flatterers, and those who speak Lashon Hara. And you can see that it has to do with the mouth. All of these have to do with the mouth. These people don't get to greet the Shekinah and get to see. And basically, also, the pasuk says, death and life are the hands of the tongue. Meaning, whatever comes out of your mouth could cause life and death. Meaning, you could kill someone by embarrassing him. He might, hasbi shalom, kill himself. Life's in the hands of the tongue. Life and death. Asayim Samedima. Conclude with this. Now consider and observe the following regarding the severity of sins involving speech. The punishment for one who curses his father or his mother is more severe than one who actually strikes them. The punishment of one who curses is sekilah, stoning, which is considered the most severe. The four methods of execution used by Bet Din, while punishment for one who strikes his parent, he gets henek, choking, which is less severe than stoning. The Rebbeinu just concludes over here on the prohibitions that involve speaking with your mouth. Rebbeinu just says that we see that it's more severe to actually words than actually punching someone, because we see when it comes to your parents, if you curse your parents, you're hayav stoning. But if you just hit them, you gave them the bruise, they only get henek, get only choking. So we see that the severity of saying bad things with your mouth. B'ezrat Hashem, next time we'll continue with prohibitions that involve seeing or hearing. Saif Samach Dalit. And B'ezrat Hashem, we'll continue next time.